than 200,000 miles. Listen up. Car Shield is a low-cost monthly vehicle protection plan now available to you. This protection plan is at an all-time low price. Please call 800-925-7584 for a free quote. Drivers who activate today will also receive free roadside assistance and towing at no additional cost. That is 800-925-7584 right now. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Morning, Kenny.
Morning, Vic.
How are you?
I'm doing really well, but it's such a crappy day. It's such like a dismal, dreary, outside, rainy. Otherwise, I feel good.
No snow.
No.
So there you go.
Oh, so that's
not that bad.
So you base everything on snow.
Exactly.
Well,
that's
everything's great until it's snow, and then it's horrible.
Right. Everything's great until snow. That's exactly right. All right. Big Monday. Rob Bluey from the Heritage Foundation is also the president and executive editor of the Daily Signal. That's crap coming up at 9:25. Jane Puszkar, she's going to come and talk about the latest school board meeting at Francis Howell. She is just a stuff stirrer, Yeah. She really is, Kenny. Karen Kataline at 10:05, and the East Coast Report with Doug Blair. That's at 10:04. Now at 10:25, ladies and gentlemen, I have a bit of a problem because I want to do some chat box there, but also I want to talk about the Army-Navy game on Saturday.
Yeah,
because I never paid attention like I did Saturday to that game. I watched the entire game. I watched Donald Trump in the box up there with everybody he was with. And that's all I'll say right now.
All right.
But boy, I'm going to play something that may blow your head off your shoulders. Is that okay?
Yep.
The Pledge of Allegiance, brought to you by our United States Air Force and Space Force.
Ken, who leads us today?
What do you say we do one of our friends, Tony Colombo?
Oh, no, not Colombo.
Colombo.
No mob bosses. Go ahead, Tony.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks for letting me be on today, guys, and whoosh, my brothers.
Yeah.
Over 200 careers to pick from in the U.S. Air Force and Space Force. Call Jeremy Jefferson in Baldwin now at 314-295-6834. 314-295-6834.
All right, let's get rolling. Rob Bluey, who is the president and executive editor of the Daily Signal. He's from the Heritage Foundation as well. Rob, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Vic. It's good to be with you today.
So I'm going through X. I'm scrolling through the stuff, and there's this CNN panel. And who do I see talking on the CNN panel? Rob Bluey.
Mm-hmm.
That was me, yes. And, I was shocked to get the invitation, but I guess CNN is that desperate or looking for maybe an actual conservative to speak about the current events and issues. And so we'll see if it materializes into anything else.
They need somebody to tell them what's what. And that's exactly what you did. You told them what's what. It's not the Republicans' fault, the mess we're in right now. It's the Democrats' fault, your own fault. So shut up, right? Kind of.
Oh, it totally is. I mean, and Vic, the thing that's so frustrating about it is you have a lot of this stuff just seems like common sense to you, me, and Ken, right? But I mean, to the Democrats in Washington or even in other places, they still are clinging to their old ways. It's why everybody is up in arms that John Fetterman, the Democrat senator from Pennsylvania, dared to have a meeting with Pete Hegseth, or has said he will come out and vote for Elise Stefanik for UN ambassador. And they asked Fetterman, they said, how can you do this? How can you betray other Democrats? And he said, look, I actually have an independent mind, and I think for myself, and I'm not just going to go along because, some party boss tells me that that's what I need to do. And frankly, that's the way Republicans have always operated. I mean, it frustrates you and me because we have people like Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski and Tom Tillis who don't necessarily stand with every one of Trump's policies or nominees, but I mean, we do want, I think, people to think independently for themselves as opposed to just going along because Chuck Schumer tells you have to.
And let's look at it this way too, Rob, because when John Fetterman was in the throes of a stroke, right? Couldn't think, had to read, not hear questions. The Dems were all for him. Oh, we love Fetterman. He can't think. Him. His brain's not working. Yeah, we want. Now he's better, clearly. And I'm not saying he's a conservative, but I'm saying he's saying some stuff that shocked the heck out of me.
Right, exactly. He sure did. I mean, and it, particularly on the issue of Israel. I mean, he has been very clear about where he stands on that when you have a lot of Democrats in the U.S. Congress who either can't seem to figure it out, which is a problem in and of itself, or they're outright rooting for Hamas and the terrorists, it seems sometimes. Yeah, so, yeah, I agree with you. And we shouldn't be confused. Fetterman is not a conservative in any means, and he will most likely vote against a lot of Trump's nominees. But the fact that he's at least willing to take a meeting with somebody, and as he said, why wouldn't you at least want to have a conversation or relationship with somebody who's going to be running the Department of Defense? I mean, it's just common sense.
Now, speaking of defense, if we ever get invaded by another country via drone, we are screwed because they don't know what it is. But Alejandro Mayorkas assures us we're on it. We know what's up there. We're good. I don't trust him about people even come across the border, much less into our airspace. Right? What in the hell? It's a month and 10 days before, and 4 days, a month and 4 days before Donald Trump takes over. Thank God, because this drone thing really is starting to frighten me a little bit.
Well, it just goes to show the level of incompetence in the Washington bureaucracy. And this is why we need people like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to come in and really shake things up. I mean, this has people in the D.C. suburbs really frightened, and they should be. I mean, remember, this drone episode just is one illustration of many about the government's incompetence, and hopefully we will get some answers. I mean, you have members of Congress across the aisle and even some Democrat governors who are saying, what the heck is going on here? But, it's my hope that going back to Doge, that Elon and Vivek can come in, really shake things up and tell these government bureaucrats that they need to get their act together or they should pack their bags.
I completely agree. Okay, let's talk about ABC News, who has to pay $15 million, actually not to Trump, but to a presidential library kind of thing. But anyway, they lost, and they're settling, which means they lost, because George Stephanopoulos can't tell the truth if it slaps him in the ass. And I got to tell you, George Stephanopoulos, I'm proud to say, is a guy I fired once. Okay. Here's the quick story. I was working at a radio station that was an ABC News affiliate, right? And I got to talk to some pretty big people while I was there. It was pretty cool. And one of the people I could talk to every Tuesday or Wednesday was George Stephanopoulos. And we're talking. I hate him, and we're talking. And I saw something on his website. I don't even remember what it was. I apologize for that. But I asked him about it, and I said, hey, there's this thing on your website. What do you think about it? He goes, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, it's on your website. And he really tried to make me look like a fool. And I said, I don't want him anymore. We got somebody else. So I fired George Stephanopoulos.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, and I doubt that ABC will follow suit, Vic. I mean, you can expect him to probably be appearing on air for many years to come. But yes, it's great to see them be held accountable. Now, in this particular case, I mean, $15 million, not chump change here. I mean, it's a significant amount of money. And I think it just goes to show that, as we've been talking about for years, the left has used lawfare against conservatives, and Donald Trump specifically, in many ways. This is Trump giving them a taste of their own medicine. Well, it didn't actually go to court. They decided to settle. I think that ABC News figured that, this one is probably one they don't want to take a chance on.
Well, and how about a domino effect? Okay. He wasn't the only one who said complete untruths about Donald Trump. And it was in a time when, it's Donald Trump. We can say anything we want about him. It's okay. He's not even human. We can say anything we want. That stuff's got to stop.
Well, particularly because he's going to be the president, as you said, in just about a month. So, yes, it does need to stop. I don't expect that it will. You are going to continue to see the resistance is not nearly what it was in 2016. Having lived through that and seen it up close in Washington, D.C., I can tell you that much. But there still will be people who are trying to do everything they can to stop Trump and his nominees. I do think the nominees are looking very strong. I think that they'll be on the front lines. Not everybody will be confirmed on January 20th, but hopefully the Senate can get things started on January 3rd when they swear in and they have 53 Republican senators and give Trump the team he needs. Because yes, he is going to not only face the entrenched bureaucracy here in Washington, D.C. and some resistance on Capitol Hill. Remember, the U.S. House is even more narrowly divided, 220 to 215, and you can expect that those in the media and left-wing organizations will do their part. And so Trump needs to have fighters on the outside who are making the case not only for his policies and nominees, but also for a completely different direction from this country that this country has been stuck in for the last 4 years.
We're talking with Rob Bluey from the Heritage Foundation and the Daily Caller. Rob, okay, Vic Porcelli and I, for the last 3.5 years, have been trying to find some way, somehow, to stop the media from saying lies, from spewing lies without infringing on the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, Donald Trump has been finding a way to do so now.
Yeah.
Because I think this has a serious chilling effect on what's going to happen in the future when they start talking about Donald Trump. At least they're going to be like, maybe we shouldn't say this because that man will sue us.
Well, Trump will sue, or others in the conservative movement will now see what Trump was able to accomplish, and they'll have more confidence that they might want to do this. And I can tell you, as somebody who's worked in the media and is a strong defender, as I know both of you are, of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
But you have a certain responsibility if you're a journalist to to talk about the truth. And Stephanopoulos in this case clearly did not. I mean, this was so obvious that he was lying what he said, that he should be held responsible for that. And there's also, a movement afoot among conservatives to make it not so tough to pursue libel cases. And so we've had Clarence Thomas, a Supreme Court justice, and others talk about this. So now you actually would need a case to come before the court before that something like that is settled. But yes, I do think conservatives and their frustration with the media is a worthwhile cause for us to pursue. And it's not going to just require creating new outlets like we did with the Daily Signal, but it's going to make sure that you're doing battle with those existing organizations that view their role not necessarily as truth tellers, but as carrying the agenda for the left.
All right, one last thing on this, and then we'll move on to another topic. E. Jean Carroll, who accused Donald Trump of sexual assault. Actually, she called it rape, which it wasn't.
Right.
But do you guys know that was right from a Law and Order SVU story, almost word for word? She watched SVU. She goes, "Oh, I'm gonna accuse Donald Trump of doing that to me."
Yeah.
It was almost the exact same story, Rob.
Amazing. I did not know that.
Well, yeah, but when she was being interviewed, she said, "Oh, rape. Yeah, that's
sexy.
That's sexy.
Yeah, rape is sexy."
Like, are you kidding me?
God, she's a weirdo. I mean, she is just a weirdo of all weirdos. All right, let's talk about Biden's pardons and clemency. My God, did he break a record? I think he might have broke a record.
He did, yes, yeah. 1,500 sentences commuted, 39 pardons, and Karine Jean-Pierre and others in the White House say more are on the way. So, I mean, this is not the end of it. I think Biden, will have a tendency to probably make a lot of late Friday night announcements so that these things get swept under the rug and nobody pays attention, much like Bill Clinton famously did on his way out the door. There's still a big question as to whether or not we'll ever see those preemptive pardons for people like Liz Cheney and Anthony Fauci and Adam Schiff. I suspect that some of them, may not want to accept those pardons because that might suggest that they did something wrong and then there's some level of guilt. And then, of course, the big question is, does Biden try to get all of these through and then do it all under the cloak of giving Trump a pardon so that everybody is outraged about Trump's pardon, and then they don't necessarily pay attention to all these other things? But there were some these are all criminals, obviously, who he pardoned, and there are some news stories coming out about individuals who were involved in child pornography and other very egregious activities that that are somewhat concerning.
All right, and finally, Nancy Pelosi took a little tumble in Luxembourg, broke her hip, had to get some hip replacement surgery. I think we should be decent and say we hope for a speedy and big recovery for Nancy. right?
Hope for a speedy recovery, Vic. And this is another reminder about the aging, population in the U.S. Congress. I mean, Mitch McConnell had an accident, I believe, just in the past week or so. So, it's given the narrow balance of power. I mean, you hate to think like this, but it's certainly concerning that you have members of Congress who are in situations like this. But yeah, I believe she's on her way home now, and hopefully she's on the mend.
Yeah, Vic, and I totally agree with you. We need full recovery from Nancy Pelosi so she can get back down on the stock market floor.
And when she gets well, we can make fun of her again.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying. Rob Bluey, I love the CNN thing, man. You really, like I said, told them what's what, and I was like, look at Rob giving them trouble. That's awesome. Rob Bluey, president and executive editor of Daily Signal. I believe this is our time to say Merry Christmas to you, because you'll be doing the show Monday, a week from today, with our favorite person in the world, Karen Kataline, and she is absolutely great. So you're going to love her, okay?
Well, I love it. I love talking to Karen. And Vic, Merry Christmas to you and Ken, and have a great rest of the week.
Hey, right. and by the way, Rob, we use the Daily Signal for our information as well.
Yes, we do.
We appreciate that, Ken. Thank you.
We want it to be true. Hey, it's the Brian Setzer Orchestra.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a Chevrolet.
Love it.
I was going to read something, but I can't.
Forget it.
It's Brian Setzer Orchestra.
No, you can.
Okay. It's our stocking stuffer. Hey, stuff my stocking. This Christmas season, we want to stuff your stocking, and you can win some pretty cool stuff.
How dare you?
Hey, nothing wrong with stuffing your stocking, right? We want to give you gift cards from Tropical World Pets, El Morelia Supermercado. How'd I do there?
Very nice.
Supermercado in Bridgeton. Just go to NewstalkSTL.com to register. Good luck. Merry Christmas. From 101.9, 94.1, News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk.
Jingle bells, jingle, jingle, jingle all the way.
Whoosh.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in one of those.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
The big lie is a lot of bullshit. That's what it is.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. If you have a phone, you have a radio. Download the News Talk STL app.
Just a convenience on the phone.
And listen anytime, anywhere.
Getting new flooring can be exciting, or it can be a hassle. To make sure you have a great experience, use Michael's Flooring, like I did. Hi, it's Susie Moore, and Michael's Flooring has become my go-to for quality, variety, and an all-around great experience. They've been locally owned and operated for more than 30 years. Carpet, hardwood, laminate, ceramic tile, natural stone, luxury vinyl, it doesn't matter. Michael's Flooring is ready to help. 3 locations to pick from: St. Peter's, Darting Prairie, and Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloor.com. That's igotfloor.com.
Tony Colombo here for the cleaning pros at Zero Res, the team we trust with keeping our home clean and healthy. And the folks at Zero Res know how important it is to you to have a clean, healthy home this holiday season. And that's why they have this great offer for you right now. Book a cleaning with Zero Res and mention the Colombo special, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129. Plus, you can take $75 off an air duct cleaning. Again, just mention the Colombo special when you call 314-474-2020 or when you book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Are the days of a personal doctor gone? Not at Body of Health Direct Primary Care. I'm Dr. Randy Tobler to share how our design is putting the care back into healthcare. Plain and simple, our members, not insurance companies, get our exclusive focus. That means same or next day appointments, responsive answers to your concerns, and a no-spin, big tool chest approach. It's about time you get serious time devoted to your medical needs. To learn about healthcare the way it ought to be, schedule a discovery call today at bodyofhealth.com. That's bodyofhealth.com.
With the average funeral bill over $9,000, are your loved ones prepared? Speak with Benjamin Schaefer at Senior Memorial. Contact Benjamin at memorialplans.com. Memorialplans.com. Senior Memorial, everlasting protection.
Dr. Randy Tobler here, and I know that when you're looking for a dentist, you have to make sure you choose a dental practice that's compatible with you and the needs of your family. Well, I'd like to tell you about my dentist, Dr. Dan Cusimano, and his partner, Megan Dwyer. and their team at Advanced Dentistry at St. Charles. The great team at Advanced Dentistry of St. Charles can accommodate all of your cosmetic and restorative needs because their passion is general dentistry. Implants, crowns, bridges, even dentures. That what you need the most is what they'll provide in a personalized, focused way. And they can provide therapeutic and cosmetic options like Botox and dermal fillers. Get to know them and all they have to offer by calling 636-978-0226 or visit them on the web at advanceddentistrynow.com. That's Dr. Daniel Cusimano and Dr. Megan Dwyer at Advanced Dentistry of St. Charles.
That's Advanced Dentistry Now, 636-978-0226, or visit them on the web at advanceddentistrynow.com.
This is what's happening.
This was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack.
50-year-old Brian Thompson was gunned down outside a New York City hotel.
1019 and 94.1.
Number one for conservative talk.
News Talk STL.
Now? Hey, baby.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Live and be well.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Georgia prosecutor in the Trump election meddling case testifies before the House Judiciary Committee. That's Nathan Wade. And he admitted he met with White House staff on several occasions while working on the investigation that was led by Fulton County DA Bonnie Willis. He also says he had to brush up on his knowledge of racketeering law. So that continues.
So perfect music Ken has played for the Nathan Wade story, right? She was Fannie Willis's little lover boy. Hey Fannie. There you go,
Fannie. Hey, Fannie.
You might show up, fat Fannie. Come on over here, baby.
Hi, baby.
So we were right the whole time.
The whole time.
The whole thing was a sham. Not only
what
was
sucks though is we have to keep waiting these months and years to realize that for them to realize that we are right about all of it.
You're right, and now it's okay though because now we got Donald Trump back in the White House,
right?
So they can wait as long as they want, as long as we get the truth at some point.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like Nathan and Loverboy was working with the White House.
Yeah. Come on.
The heck's the matter with him? All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Remember when we first brought that up, though? Remember when we first brought that up about him working with the White House? You had people on social media think, okay, I've heard a lot of things you people say, but saying something like that's just crazy.
All right,
that's crazy
our
talk.
First response to that should have been, what do you mean, you people?
You people, yeah.
And second of all, when he was on the stand, right, testifying, and the lawyer asked him a question. I don't even remember what the question was. And he thought about it for like a minute, maybe more, and then said, no. He was thinking of Fannie, right?
Yes, he was
thinking of Fannie.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for everybody's game show. Everybody's favorite game show. That's crap.
Welcome to That's Crap. It's the game where we find out if it's the truth or if that's crap. Here's the host of That's Crap, Vic Porcelli.
Thank you, Jim Hodgson. Thank you, Kenny Williams. Studio audience, say hello. Thank you, ladies. Stop it. I'm a married man. All right. This is the game where we find out if it's the truth or if that's crap. And you know what? It's funny that since we added a new feature to our show, Ken, called fake news,
right?
We've been trying to keep the fake news out of that's crap because their turn is on fake news day.
Yes.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Well, it makes very much sense. And fake news actually focuses more on the media.
Exactly. And that's crap focuses more on actual politicians.
Yes.
Which is where we are today. Our contestant is the only man in history to have a pencil neck and a watermelon head and still manage to get by every day without falling over. But you know what? Adam Schiff is his name. This guy has lied so many times and has used the media to help him lie throughout the Russia thing, right up to today, which is what you're going to hear him talk about Kash Patel being nominated for FBI director. So, Ken, I want you to put 15 seconds on the clock and pencil neck, watermelon head Good luck.
Well, let me just say, with respect to some of the nominees like Kash Patel, this is someone, in my view, who is not qualified to be FBI director, and someone who claimed, for example, that he wanted to shut down FBI headquarters early in his tenure and open a museum to the deep state. So this is a conspiracy theorist.
Adam, Pencil Neck Watermelon Head, you first of all, hasn't he learned that every conspiracy theory that we've had has turned out to be the truth?
About him?
About anything.
Right.
Anything that they called us conspiracy theory about ended up to be true.
Yes.
And he's still going at it. And so here's the thing. Just be glad you're not a Democrat or a liberal, because for just 15 cents a day, you can help Democrats buy a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Kash Patel said, I'm going to shut down the FBI building. I'm going to turn it into a deep state museum. Do you really think that's what he's going to do?
He said on one day in the first. Okay, first of all, if it's not a joke, how can any person do that? Okay, yeah.
So these poor Democrats have no sense of humor. Can't you help them for just 15 cents a day? I'm sorry, Pencil Neck Watermelon Head. That's crap. I also watched last night, just to refer and refresh my memory on what a lowlife Adam Schiff is, that I watched the impeachment hearings when he was, I think, the chairman of that committee, the impeachment committee. And he talked about how Donald Trump called Zelensky. It's actually Zelensky on the phone, president of Ukraine, that they impeached him on.
Yeah.
That Trump says, perfect phone call, absolutely perfect, most perfect. Nobody did a more perfect phone call than me. And the way he said it, he sounded like he was quoting Donald Trump. Now, listen, I'm only going to say this 7 times, so listen and listen good. I want you to dig up dirt on my opponent. Lots of it. Hear me? Like he made it sound like it was a quote from the phone call, which it was not.
It was not at all, not even close.
Even in an impeachment hearing, something as important as an impeachment hearing, he went through this whole masquerade of what's going on. And
And the Adam Schiff to this very day talks about Russia collusion. I mean, I you know what? Honestly, I hope the Democrats continue to talk about that, because everyone in this country, and I'm talking about Democrats included, they're done with it. They're done with the whole Russia thing.
Yeah, you're
if
right.
you bring it up, just like they've destroyed the word racism. Racism, the racist word, is so important in this country, and it really should be. But they've destroyed it because they've used it so often for so many different things. Everybody's like, well, you're a racist. I'll be like, whatever. Okay, great. You call me a racist. I guess I'm a racist to you.
Yeah. And what you're saying, it also, another ramification of what you're saying is that even the Democrats want him to shut up, because they know that it's useless to keep lying about the Russia collusion thing.
Nobody believes it.
So
Vic.
you're hurting us, Adam. The Democrats saying you're hurting us. Stop
You
it.
are.
Stop
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Man, we don't care.
That's all the time we have for That's Crap.
This is Jim Modulin speaking for That's Crap, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman radio production.
Thank you, Jim Modulin and Ken Williams. This is Vic Porcelli saying, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody. Okay, so really quickly, speaking of pets, Sally, Sally Bones.
Yeah, Sally Bones. Yeah.
I was looking at her last
Now,
night.
she made yet?
Oh, she made her bones a year ago.
Okay.
Good question, Ken.
Yeah.
Good question. That's mafia talk right there. So she is great. She's doing great. She was laying on the floor the other night, and I said to Jess, I said, look how long she is. Like she takes up so much carpet right now.
Yeah.
Because she's so big and long. I said, look how long she is. Look how tall she's long, tall Sally.
Oh,
long, tall Sally. Look, pretty good. She got everything that Uncle John needs. Oh, baby. So we've already done there was a picture of her with me on the couch. She likes to snuggle up and put her head on my lap. And I was, just petting her head. And I took a picture and I called it, lay down, Sally, rest here in my arms. Like lay down, Sally.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So now I need one. I need Jessica to take a picture of me with Sally in between the house next door and our house. And I can look all surprised and I can be sneaking Sally through the alley. Right?
Right.
Sneaking Sally through the alley.
Now,
and up pops the wife.
Now you have, since you mentioned your dog, I have to talk
Yes,
about my
sir.
dog, because I came across this little outfit for Rudy. Rudy's he's kind of dog that if you tell him to do something, he'll sit down and say, "Nope, you make me do it."
What
now.
is he, a cat?
Yeah, something like that. He is kind of like a cat. So it was like a flannel jacket that I put. I just kind of squeezed it on him. He growled at me when I was putting it on. I just try it on. Your mom wants you to try it on, so we'll just have a look at it. So I put it on him, and we let it for a few minutes, and I thought, okay, he probably wants it off because he growled at me putting it on, right?
Yeah.
No, he starts growling at me. I can't get it off of him now.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No, not at all. It's his now.
Anytime I see people putting dogs in human clothes, I always respond with, "This is why dogs bite people."
Mm-hmm. Oh, pretty much.
Because you're dressing them up like humans.
Right.
All right. One last thing about Sally. She had a chain around her neck, right? I hate to use the word choker, but we don't even use it for that because she's never on a leash. She's always out in the yard. But it had a little tag on it that had her name, Sally.
Yeah.
And then her phone number on the back in case she got lost. God forbid if she ever gets lost, her phone number is there.
Right.
So Jessica found a place where you can totally personalize the tag that you put on the chain around her. And it says on the chain, "Yep, I'm lost. I didn't listen." So if somebody finds her, not only will they help her, but they'll get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Ken, it says, "I'm lost. I didn't listen." My wife's crazy. I swear to God.
I love it.
Me too. All right. So 1041, we close out the show every Monday with Douglas Blair from Harris X Polling. Hold on, that piano's coming. I hate
know.
to talk about the piano, that little meow. Right here it comes, right? Wow, that's awesome. At 10:25, Ken, I want to talk about the Army-Navy game. It meant more to me this year than any other year for some reason. Patriotism, just flooding your television set.
Oh, it was all over. And I knew that Trump was going to be there, and they were advertising it as such, and I couldn't wait.
Me neither. You didn't see much of them on CBS, though.
No.
They put them up for like 4 minutes of the whole show.
Yeah.
Jackasses. Like they didn't learn. Have they not learned?
No.
Karen Kataline at 10:05. But I have nothing to talk to Karen Kataline about, so let's just talk about being Jewish and Hanukkah and stuff.
Right.
Okay. And coming up next, Jane Puszkar from the Francis Howell School Board on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
But I feel badly also about the fistulas that are taking place in Eastern Congo.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
That's what we call an oldie but goodie.
Yeah.
I'm also concerned about the fishtulets in the Eastern Congo. What about the fishtulets in the Western Congo?
He doesn't care.
What about the fishtulets in regular Congo?
They're overabundant.
Overabundant. Somehow I'm going to miss him. If we could just have him as a comic relief.
Well, you just nailed it. We're going to keep the clips, and once in a while, just throw one out.
Yeah, but there'll be no new ones unless he...
No, but these are classic.
And right, you're right. And we will do that.
Just once in a while.
After he's out of office, they are not going to call on him to talk or speak at anything.
No.
Nothing.
We won't be able to.
All right. Let's talk about Chris Cooper from Serenity Wealth Management. Now, Chris is scheduled to be on with us this week, and this will be the first time he's on the air since I called his show Fun with Finance.
Yeah.
Instead of what's actually called Serenity Wealth Now, which is a great title. I mean, it could be, why couldn't it be Fun with Finance with Serenity Wealth Now, Chris Cooper?
No, it's Serenity Wealth Now,
No,
but it is
okay.
fun.
So anyway, he certainly can kick my ass when he comes in. Thursday's coming to Thursday. He'll be here this week.
Yeah.
So Chris is going to come in and talk to you a little bit. And another thing, too, I want you to know that when Chris comes in, feel free to throw any questions into the chat box for him or call us with any questions because this guy will have a great answer for you. And start the ball rolling on you contacting him and finding out great tax-efficient solutions to keep your money.
Yeah, this Wednesday at 9:05.
Wednesday at 9:05, Chris Cooper from Serenity Wealth Now. From Serenity Wealth Management. His radio show is called Serenity Wealth Now, and he's on right before us on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
So call Chris, go see him, and get his new book for free. The book is called A New Holistic Retirement, and you can get it for free at serenitynowtax.com. That's serenitynowtax.com. He can get a refund for this spot, right? He shouldn't even pay for this.
Sure.
Just Serenity Now, Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now.
Colombo and Company.
On Monday, we'll get you up to speed on all the important news you need to start your week, plus Virginia Cruda from the Daily Wire at 2:20 and tech expert Mike McCleary at 3:05.
Live and local weekdays at 2 on NewstalkSTL.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Estella's Pharma.
For over half a century, Joe Bacardi's has been serving up a little taste of Italy right here in St. Louis. Family owned since 1971, we're more than just a restaurant. We're a local landmark. With 4 convenient locations, we offer something for everyone, from our famous pizzas to mouth-watering entrees and delicious salads. Dine in with a glass of wine or grab a quick carryout. Whether it's dinner for 2 or catering for a crowd, Joe Bacardi's has you covered. Visit joebacardis.com and join our loyalty program. Joe Bacardi's, where every meal ends with buon appetito.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hey everybody, this is Joe Mackey. You may know me from Gutfeld as the hot one and the funny one. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL 101.9 and 94.1 or 94.1 and 101.9. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Joe.
you.
Thank
Goodbye.
you so much.
Thank you.
Joe is the handsome one.
I'm not hearing it.
Yeah, turn it up.
You got a little thing underneath the counter there. Turn up. So this song.
You've been on so many times, I thought, well, maybe she does know.
You always fix it for me.
This song that you're playing right now?
Yeah.
This is the song when I realized that piano players have to cut their brain in half. Right?
Okay.
Because the left hand goes while the other hand is going. How do you do it? You're a musician. You're a cat. How do you do that?
You just do it. It's just a matter of repetition. I actually played piano, had to learn that, and it's a matter of repetition.
I'm sorry, no. I'm not buying that. It's got to be more than that.
Well, you take a scalpel and you cut your
now
medulla oblongata in half.
Okay, now this conversation
That's
is way over
making
my
one
head.
assumption that may or may not be
Ooh-wee.
true, that you have 2 sides to your brain.
Well, cats do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say cats. Musicians.
No, you can say he's a cat.
Okay.
He played harmonica on stage before, so he
I have this theory that when somebody says, "Yeah, man, did you hear that cat?" and I'm like, "Hold on, excuse me, are you a musician?" And then they'll say, "No, you're not allowed to use cat. Only musicians are allowed to call other guys cats."
And Vic's the cat police.
I'm the cat police.
And I was going to say I'm a dog person.
I'm a dog person, no doubt about it. And I have cat-like reflexes, no doubt
You
about
do,
that, right,
man.
Ken?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you do.
Like reflexes. All right, that's Jane Puszkar there from the Francis Howell School Board. And Jane, I've been hearing rumors that you might not be running for re-election for the school board, and I just want to make my plea now that board needs you. They need your energy and all that stuff.
Well, thank you, Vic, but I'm exploring. That's my comment. I'm exploring.
Oh, she has an exploratory committee.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh,
you did.
What are you exploring?
Yeah.
On weekends at Castlewood Park?
I'm exploring how to better live my life.
Oh, okay. You know what? I get that.
Yeah, I'm sure
So
you do.
let's talk about boys in the girls' bathroom. This has been a topic that's come up the last couple of meetings, and it has come up in the last meeting. Where do we stand now with Francis Howell?
Okay, last month at the board meeting, two parents enacted Policy 412. Policy 412 is the policy that the legislature basically handed down to us, which says if you have an issue with the school district, you first go to the superintendent. You don't have to go through all the building administrators and all the other administrators. You go straight to the superintendent. If he or she can't solve your issue, then what you need to do is go talk to the board. And you get a 5-minute time slot outside of patron comments. Yeah. So 2 parents, there were 3 that met with the superintendent, but 2 of them were able to make it, and they pleaded with us to pass a bathroom policy. One of the parents has hired a lawyer, a very well-known Harvard-trained Harvard Law Review lawyer, who says that we are at bigger risk for not having a policy. Her point was we actually do have a policy. It's called the sign on the door. Yeah. And you're not enforcing it. So you're at more legal risk by not enforcing that policy than you are.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're clear here. So people listening are clear. The policy that you speak of is the policy that says boys over here, girls over here, or a policy is the weirdo policy?
No, the policy that says boys going boys and girls.
So what was the reaction to that? Let's call it testimony.
By the board?
By the people who came with the lawyer and all.
Well, of course, the loud minority was there and, shouting him down and things like that. But
now, hold on. What? If you get 5 minutes, you should get your 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, but except if they're against you, then they get to yell and scream. They get to yell and scream anything that they want, especially, calling me names and things like that during patron comments. They get to do that.
I think that time should be added on to the people who are
absolutely.
trying to
Yeah.
Right? That's what they do in the Senate. I'd like the clock to have 30 more seconds because they took it away from me by yelling.
Yeah, exactly right. And your meeting was last Thursday, right?
Correct.
And before that, she was on the show with Vic and I, and we actually kind of called out the dads and parents and said, look, you guys, if you have a daughter in this school, you have a vested interest. Are you gonna show up? How many were there? Were like supposedly thousands of men. What happened? Was there any more turnout or anything?
Yeah, there was more turnout on the conservative side. And I do believe that more fathers are getting active on social media.
Good.
They don't like this. And I can't say that I blame them. These little girls deserve privacy in their locker rooms and bathrooms. They totally deserve privacy. And by not giving them that, they're, again, like I've said before, we're treating them like second-class citizens.
Yes.
Yeah, they're being told, you know what, young ladies, your needs for privacy, they're superseded by a guy who wants to pretend that he's a girl.
I'm going to change topics here. Do you have anything else on this?
No.
Okay. So what's the Francis Howell policy on boys playing in girls' sports?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, let's find out about that.
Because
I haven't heard of anything like that. But then, unless a parent reports it to me, I don't know anything about it.
Because I think Riley Gaines has been one of the most courageous people in this whole fight.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yes, I do.
Every time an issue comes up, she's in front of a camera talking about it. And by the way, Leah, I hate to even call him Leah.
It's not Leah.
Whatever his name is, Thomas, who beat her, was disqualified. And then Riley is now the champion of that race meet.
He got his little trophy taken away.
Well, that's good. But I mean, we can call him Leah because here's why. I believe that anybody should be called whatever they want to be called. I mean, if you want to be called Leah as a guy, you can. But we don't have to call him a girl.
I might be called Princess.
There you go.
We can say
you
Leah,
got it. You got it.
Leah the man.
Right.
So, we can Leah Thomas the guy.
Yeah.
So Princess. I'm sorry. I switched topics and I want to go back. I'm so sorry, but this popped in and out of my head.
Right.
This was years and years ago at McClure North High School.
Yes.
You know the story?
I do.
How about that?
Go ahead.
A boy, this is before all this transgender crap. This guy was in the girls' bathroom and put this girl's head in the toilet and drowned her and killed her in the toilet before any of this.
Right.
And last April in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, a young man was told by some ladies that they didn't want him in the bathroom, so he made a hit list. The girls went to administration and said, hey, he's got a hit list. He's going to do something. Oh, no, they said, it isn't going to happen. Well, guess what? He attacked one from behind, one of the girls on his hit list from behind, put her in the hospital. and made the other kids sit in the lunchroom and watch them mop up her blood. They wouldn't let her out of the room.
See,
So yeah. See, and you're only one step away from it. You know, the bathroom, something that happened in the bathroom is significant because it happens right there. But what people don't realize is that it's a nexus. They take that fight over the bathroom outside. They take it in the lunchroom. They take it other places. So it can really happen anywhere.
So transgenderism, whatever that is a mental illness.
Yeah.
You're mentally unstable at the jump.
Gender dysphoria.
Gender dysphoria. Nancy Mace experienced a beating in the bathroom by a man who was in the bathroom saying he was a woman. Okay, this is a mental disorder. Okay, so what they're saying is we're going to allow people who are mentally unstable to begin with into a bathroom who are musculature and skeletal wise stronger than any woman who could walk in there, and they're going to allow them to be unleashed with a woman in that bathroom. You talk about needing therapy. Any woman that goes in there, they're going to need therapy in the future.
Not only is there gender dysphoria to begin with, but it's magnified by the fact that they give them hormone blockers. They give them testosterone.
That's great.
To young ladies, making them more aggressive. They give estrogen in young men, and that makes them more emotional. Sorry, ladies, we do get emotional, but
not to mention increases the chances of cancer.
Yes, exactly. It just absolutely ruins these kids' lives. And see, Europe, I think, is going that way where they're starting to understand, hey, this is not good for the kids.
So I'd like to go back, Ken, if you don't mind, to what you brought up last time we talked to Jane. Fathers, especially fathers of girls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you see fathers of girls supporting boys in the women's bathroom?
No, I don't.
So maybe they need to start their own little association.
Well,
right?
maybe they do.
Fathers of girls that'll kick your ass in 5 minutes club.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah, something. We can
Maybe
work,
a better
we can work
name
on
than
the
that.
title a little bit, but I think it's a good start, Vic.
Vic, you always are going to get somebody in trouble, aren't you?
I'm just saying.
He's making a suggestion. That's all.
No, but I mean, I think I get your point that fathers should be organizing to combat this. And yes.
And the sports thing, by the way.
Yes. And yes, I do believe that it's in infant stages right now. We do have some, and a couple council people are interested in getting and have talked to the board either in a meeting or outside of a meeting, telling them, you guys need to do something. We could maybe do something. We don't know if we can or we can't, but you guys need to do something because they got kids in the district.
Right. Here's what I don't understand about this whole thing, about all of this, is that, okay, they're saying, well, we need to be understanding about their emotions. Okay, what about the people, the fathers, the daughters who have emotions about this on the other side? Do they not matter anymore?
I've had fathers tell me that if they found out some guy went into their daughter's bathroom, somebody was going to jail that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean they're very adamant that they don't want boys in their girls' bathrooms. I mean, it's normal for years and years and centuries. This is the way it's been. And all of a sudden, we've got a bunch of people with gender dysphoria that think their needs supersede everybody else's. And you know what? It doesn't. We are the ones that have the rights.
Jane, we need to start a new aggressive campaign to find every father in that school district who has a daughter and send them a mailer, send them something in the mail that says, hey, do you know a guy could be looking at your daughter, or your daughter might have to look at this guy's junk while he's in the bed, and get them riled up.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, how many fathers have daughters in the Francis Howell School District, but there could be a lot who all converge on the next meeting and start some
I think
stuff.
I think what you're saying, no bad words here.
Hold on.
I think what you're saying is the status quo is unsustainable. We cannot keep going on
exactly
and allowing any of this to happen. People are fearful. I mean, I'm fearful. Why do you think I'm doing all this?
No,
I'm fearful for those little girls.
Right.
I mean, they have rights too. In fact, they should be able to go into their restroom and locker rooms and be safe.
I have two. Vic has two daughters. I have two daughters that went through schooling, and you know what? It's not. As a dad of daughters, I never knew this, but girls, they're emotional and they need conversation sometimes. It's already a bumpy road for a lot of girls to get through high school and junior high school. Now with this added on top, that's just crazy.
I've talked to female students who have told me they don't go to the bathroom all day because they're afraid to go in there.
and that could cause big time trouble. to
Oh yeah, kidney
kidneys and
problems.
everything
Yeah,
else, right?
absolutely. As a nurse, yes, we know
So
we
I
know
have
that.
I have a question I want both of you guys to think about for a second. Maybe we'll talk about it more the next time we see you, Jane. What happened 100 years ago, 1924, if somebody was gender dysphoric before that term was even meant? If a boy thought he was a girl, what did they do back then when nobody gave a damn? Just get through it, just rub some dirt on it, and get back in the game.
That's right. But now they're being told, I want to affirm you. I want to affirm you. You have worth. I tell you, and I've talked to female students. Guess what? This is a peer pressure issue as well. These kids want to fit in. We all did, but
you have they have to be told.
By the way,
that they have worth. This is what I'm talking. Vic, growing up, did anybody say, Vic, I just want you to know you have worth? My football coach, if I'd have said, hey, coach, you need to tell me I have worth, he would have said, you're sitting out. You're going to sit down.
Yeah.
Frank Minicucci. I don't know if you guys don't know Frank Minicucci. I went to high school with him. He broke his arm in practice one day, and he didn't tell anybody. I mean, he said it hurts, so I keep playing. And then he went to the hospital, and they put a cast on his arm. And then they were done putting the cast on the arm. He goes, "Oh, it's this one that's broke." They let him. He let him put a cast on there. He was so stupid. Anyway, my point is in 1924, nobody cared if you were a man and you thought you were a woman.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Fix your problem. Fix your stuff. Right.
The really sad. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The really sad thing about this, kids don't have a choice. They have to go to school.
No, they don't.
Well,
they can be homeschooled.
Well, true.
They can do this micro schooling thing, which the more I'm hearing about micro schools, the more I want everybody to do it. You pick the smartest lady in the neighborhood, and all the kids go over to her house, and she teaches them stuff without all this other gender crap.
True.
But
Right,
if
Jane.
if you have not the choice, and you have your Francis
both
Howell
your parents
school,
work. And,
right?
Yeah.
35, really? 35? You expect me to do that kind of math?
No, I got it right
35?
here. Don't worry about it.
Jane, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me and allowing me the opportunity to state what we need to do in Francis Howell School District.
How long is your term here? When?
It's up in 26.
Oh, good. Okay, so we got you to get in there and fight for these kids.
Stop.
We need you. Need you, Jane.
So
Thank you.
find out about the sports thing.
I will, and I'll be back next month at the board meeting, making that motion again to put it on the agenda.
And you come right in the next day.
I will.
Or whenever you
I
want.
will. Yeah.
You're the princess. Was it princess? Was that your
It was
title?
princess.
She identifies as a princess, and that's just fine with us. All right, Karen Kataline, who will be doing this show next Monday. She's next. I don't know. We'll just talk about Jewish stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Hanukkah. And
Why not? Why don't you talk about bathrooms?
Godfather. She'd rather talk about the Godfather. That's coming up next on News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Whoosh.
Hungry for the best steak you'll ever have? Head to the heart of Moscow Mills and discover Harry J's, a local landmark and family-owned steakhouse, serving up excellence since '98. From mouth-watering appetizers to decadent desserts, Harry J's has something for everyone. Enjoy our extensive bar selection while soaking in our friendly family atmosphere. Whether dine-in or carry-out, your meal is prepared to perfection. Make the drive to 300 Main Street and treat yourself to a taste of Moscow Mills' finest. Harry J's, more than a steakhouse. We're a tradition.
Hey, Columbo here for Rockwood Charcoal. Rockwood is made from 100% pure Missouri oak and hickory, so you're cooking with the best and supporting local industry and a local business all at once. There's over 100 area Rockwood retailers. Find yours at rockwoodcharcoal.com.
Looking for an underwater adventure or a scaly new friend? Dive into Tropical World Pets on Watson Road. For 32 years, this family-owned wonderland has been St. Louis's go-to destination for all things aquatic and reptilian. With over 7,000 square feet of aquariums, we're home to the area's largest selection of freshwater fish, including rare cichlids you won't find anywhere else. But that's not all. We've got tarantulas, snakes, and lizards galore. Tropical World Pets, 314-849-4020, or visit twpstl.com.
The Herzog Foundation is the vision of its founder, Stanley Herzog, and it exists to promote quality Christ-centered K-12 education nationwide.
Hi, this is Chris Stigall with the Herzog Foundation. We offer a wide variety of resources relevant to today's families, including a free online publication called The Lion. The lion is one of God's most majestic creatures, symbolizing strength and courage. Named for its attributes, the Lion publication carries articles covering a wide range of topics facing American families and culture, especially related to the education of children. The Lion can be found online at readlion.com. That's READ lion.com.
Sign up for The Lion at readlion.com and find dozens of must-read articles published every day. Visit readlion.com and subscribe for the weekly and daily digests so you never miss an article. Readlion.com. That's readlion.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
Breaking news this hour at townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Julie Walker reports storms across the U.S. have brought everything from heavy snow to dangerous ice, even a tornado to California.
A rare Central California tornado touched down Saturday in Scotts Valley, tossing cars, uprooting trees, and sending several people to the hospital. The National Weather Service says it's the first since records have been kept. Meteorologist Dalton Behringer.
EF1 tornado that produced winds up to 90 miles per hour.
Elsewhere, more than a foot of snow fell at some Lake Tahoe ski resorts. A 112-mile-per-hour gust was recorded at Mammoth Mountain. A major ice storm hit parts of the Midwest, and in some parts of western New York, residents were cleaning up from up to 3.5 feet of snow. I'm Julie Walker.
Authorities in Ohio are investigating after the bodies of 3 women were found inside a Columbus home. This neighbor told WSYX WTTE she was friends with the victims.
I hope whom's responsible for this either steps forward themselves and turn themselves in, or they get caught.
Violence breaks out at a makeshift club in Houston, Texas.
We have several people that were injured by gunshot wounds.
And that's Houston Police Department Assistant Chief Luis Menendez-Sierra, who spoke to KTRK. Jackie Quinn reports on holiday sales trends at small shops this Christmas season.
Owners of small retail shops say the top-selling gifts appear to be cozy items this year, like sweaters and fuzzy alpaca wool scarves. The National Retail Federation predicts holiday shopping this year will be up between 2.5% and 3.5% over last year. I'm Jackie Quinn.
On Wall Street right now, the Dow is up by 90 points. The Nasdaq up by 224. More from townhall.com.
Our nation's problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight, which is why we must prepare now for a financial collapse that will affect the entire economy. The good news is there's an easy way to do that. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe everyone should consider a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group to diversify their IRA or 401k. Gold is a proven bedrock in almost every kind of economy. To learn more, get a free info kit from my trusted friends at Birch Gold by texting the word PREPARE to 989898. Don't wait until decades of government irresponsibility comes crashing down on your retirement. Get your free info kit on gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group now. Text PREPARE to the number 989898. That's PREPARE to 989898.
This hour of News Talk STL brought to you by Chris Cooper and Serenity Wealth Management. Discover little-known strategies that could be the difference between choosing the care you deserve or having someone else decide it for you. Get a free copy of Chris's book at serenityltc.com. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
It's a wet early morning commute, but that rain is going to be moving on, and we clear out very quickly by later this morning. The sun comes out this afternoon. The high temperature 62 degrees, but it is definitely wet this morning. Overnight lows tonight in the 40s and a high tomorrow in the mid 50s. We're looking at sunny skies on Tuesday. I'm KMOV First Alert meteorologist Kent Earhart.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Yes, sir. Another hour ready to roll, courtesy of the world's greatest executive producer, Ken Williams.
Hey, thanks, Vic.
You got it, baby. Doug Blair from Harris X Polling will join us at 10:41 today. I don't know, Ken. I want to do the chat box so bad.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the Army-Navy game at 10:25.
We probably try and do both.
Okay. We'll do both.
We'll do both.
What would a Jewish guy say? Then we'll do both.
Okay.
Let's go. Speaking of Jewish.
The one and only Karen Kataline.
Did you know that I'm married to a trucker? I feel like using a Yiddish word, famished. Spoiling in front of my computer, I am. They're just too dumb to lie. He has the effect of 6 shots of scotch.
I hope my age is accurate. I'm always accurate about my age.
I got it wrong the last time.
That's okay. How do I do that Jewish thing? Pretty good, right?
Oh, you do it great. It's all in the tone.
It's exactly. It's the cadence, or I don't know what you call it.
Inflection.
Inflection is
Yeah.
what it is. I want
Yeah,
you
a lot
all.
of people miss what. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
A lot of people confuse the New York accent or the New York Jewish accent with a Jewish accent. They're very different, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's another story. So now you've developed WWJD. What would Jews do?
I love it. That kidding me? Obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. What would
That's
a Jew do
terrible,
here?
isn't it? Yeah, we're gonna get into all kinds of religion here. It's gonna be a problem.
So listen, first of all, I want to admit something to you, and I apologize. I have nothing prepared for you whatsoever. Nothing. I just thought we'd talk
Really?
about Jewish and Italian stuff and have some fun. Is that okay? You okay with that?
That's okay. I mean, we can also. I mean, I always have things in my back pocket because I'm doing radio later today. So if you want to talk, I mean, I'm just,
You're locked and
inflamed
loaded.
about all kinds
All right,
of things.
then we will. But
Well, I mean, Duke lacrosse. I mean, I'm sure you've probably talked about it a
what
lot.
about anti-Semite of the year?
Let's see, who is and there's so many.
Well,
What
there's
is the anti-Semite of the year?
Candace Owens. They're saying that's
Oh,
the anti-Semite of the year.
God.
But before we
yeah.
get to any of
Oh.
that, I just-
Okay, let's have fun.
okay, this is 20 seconds of fun. Do you know this stupid elf on the shelf thing? Are you familiar with that?
I just asked my husband, what's an elf on a shelf?
Oh, okay.
And now I forgot what it was. It was like they
it's-
keep moving it around.
Yeah,
in
it's a
different
little
rooms.
doll, right? It's the
Okay.
creepiest George Orwell-ish thing in the world.
Yeah, Karen, it allows kids to have to get therapy later on in life.
Is it like they're watching, like
Yes.
Santa's watching you everywhere you go?
Well, no, because the
Create
elf is the
paranoia?
snitch. The elf, not Santa. The elf is watching you, and he relays it to Santa, right? And said, "Oh,
gee.
this kid is a little bitch. Don't bring him anything for Christmas except coal." But I did
It's the
want
precursor to Stalinist snitch tactics.
exactly. And a something that has happened since this elf on the shelf thing has started, that people are putting up, oh, you've heard of elf on a shelf, here's this, and you got to figure out the puzzle. And it was Nancy Pelosi. I don't know if they have these where you are, but in St. Louis, a lot of roads have these ditches in case there's a tornado. You jump in the ditch so the tornado doesn't hit you, I guess. But she's walking through that, and that is a bitch in a ditch instead of elf on a shelf.
I think I heard one, but I wouldn't be able to pull it up out of my memory, like a
Well,
variation of that.
There's one for you, actually.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. The Jewish
You mean
version.
Jews? Yeah.
Yes. The Jewish version of elf on the shelf is mensch on a bench.
Because he's a mensch.
It's the
And
mensch.
everybody knows what a mensch is, right?
Mia, apparently.
You do.
Okay.
Do the listeners know what a mensch
No,
is?
that's not my point. I'm a mensch, right? Come on.
Sometimes.
Oh my God.
Sometimes.
What do I got to do
But
to get a
that's not-
compliment in this place?
That's not always a bad thing not to be a mensch.
Oh.
Sometimes you're a little bit of a rabble rouser. It depends.
Yeah,
you are a mensch.
I
You're a
think-
mensch, but
I think you can be
Because
both.
he's a mensch.
Because I'm a mensch, okay?
two Jews, three opinions. It
Right,
depends.
right. All right.
So a mensch is a gentleman. To be a
Oh,
gentleman.
that's
to be
me then. Come
a
on.
good
Yeah,
person.
that's him, Karen.
How many gentleman talk show hosts do you really know
Really.
who are interesting to listen to?
No kidding.
I know some that
If
aren't
you're-
interesting to listen to.
Yeah, they're probably mensches.
Yeah, some not.
And
All right,
then
so-
they're really obnoxious, horrible people like Howard Stern. That's a whole nother story.
Who is not a mensch.
No.
So I need you. I heard a Yiddish word. I need you to help me with.
Okay, I hope I can.
I hope I know I'm saying it right. Shiksa.
Oh yeah.
What's a shiksa?
A shiksa is technically, because there's always several meanings. A shiksa is just a non-Jewish woman. usually blonde, but definitely non-Jewish.
Right.
But sometimes these words have developed pejorative undermeanings.
Is it a pejorative, Shiksa?
I think if Jews say it, it depends on the context. It depends on what the meaning of is. But in general, shiksa and shagitz is the male version of that. It does have a negative connotation. Like, did you know he married a
It's so funny. So
yeah.
and shmoyo, something like that. Shmoyo. There's another word I heard it.
Well, a moil.
Moyle's the guy that does the
but what are you talking
circumcision.
about?
I don't know. It went by very quickly, and shiksa was the only thing that jumped out at me.
Moil, schmoil. I don't know. No, I don't know which word you're thinking of.
Let's skip it then before we get anything a little too dirty.
You could put sh before anything. Just like what's her name? The nanny. What was her name? Cancer Schmancer.
Fran Drescher.
Fran Drescher. Right.
So I love that because, like you said, you can do it with anything, right? Surgery, schmergery, right?
Right.
So that means so I want to tell you a story.
Means I'm not afraid. I'm not going to let that bother me.
There was
what's a little thing like cancer?
Right. There was a family that lived 2 houses away from us. They moved away because they couldn't stand me, and
you weren't a bench.
Not to know, yeah. Because listen, the guy was a super lib. I mean, he was a super lib turd.
Super lib.
Oh my God.
I always call them militant libs.
But he was worse than that.
Well, they're never mentions. They're never nice, but they expect everybody else to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's this lib, right? Lawyer. And I was out doing the grill one night in my yard, making burgers or whatever. And it was like 7:00. And he walked 2 yards through to me and he goes, "Do you people always eat this late?" And I was like, first of all, you people, he hated people from New York. If you're from New York, you were evil. Yeah.
And where was this?
In my backyard in Manchester,
backyard?
Missouri. Yeah.
Oh. You people.
You people. Who are you calling you people? So why did I say that? Now I got to think of why I said that.
I'm hoping to hear your retort.
On what? To him?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
the thickest New York accent. What's it your problem?
What are you looking at?
Yeah, what are you
looking at?
You talking to me?
Now I remember more. I'm focusing more on when this was. It was when Obama was running for president, I think the first time. And he was out the day after Election Day. And my wife is out there too. And he goes, "So did you vote for Barack Obama?" And my wife says, "No, I went to negate your vote."
Love her.
Oh, she's the best, man. I'm telling you. You want to mess with a Jersey girl? Don't start with my wife because you'll lose.
That's excellent. Oh, I love strong women.
All right. So now, why is Candace Owens anti-Semite of the year?
Hey.
Well,
I don't know what they're saying, why she is, like who gave her that. This one hurts because I really liked her.
Yes.
You know, I supported her. I remember when I got into talk radio many moons ago, I had her on my program before anybody knew who she was.
Wow.
And
I
said to her, "You're going to be big. You watch." And it didn't take long. And people just embraced her, loved her. I don't know what's happened to her. I don't know. And again, I was very, very slow to brand her anything. I really don't like that because that's so much what the left does. Sometimes you've got to. So some of my circle of friends, they were saying this woman is an anti-Semite. And I said, don't be so quick. Just because she's critical of Israel doesn't automatically make her
That's a good point.
An anti-Semite. I don't like doing that unless I start to see a growing vitriol and hatred and an embracing of the most insane kinds of smears and vilification of Jews and Israel. And the always the dead giveaway, and there are many, is when they lump all Jews together. In this case, I finally had to respond because the only Jew that she could find who was as hateful towards Israel as she would like them to be, turned out, and I hope I'm not offending anybody, but you know what? This is still America, was a so-called Messianic Jew. All right?
All right.
So theologically speaking, not that I have any passion about this, you understand? Theologically speaking, number one, people can believe whatever they want, but when they label themselves Messianic Jews, there's another word for them. It's called Christian. So
Yeah.
just be proud you're a Christian. And so there was that on Twitter as well. I was kind of doing something uncharacteristic for me, which was to bite my tongue and not weigh in on a lot of this. I just didn't want to get into it. But now I don't know who it was or what she's reading, but I've encountered people like this that just make my knees go to jello. No, that's the wrong analogy. They just infuriate me because it's so easy to tap in to a fairly large amount of Jew hatred online. And there's so many true conspiracies that are pure lies that demonize Israel and the Jewish people. The facts belie all of that, but they don't care. They want to characterize. I'm talking around it because I don't remember exactly. I have to go back.
What her
in
thing
my
was?
Twitter feed. My Twitter feed. Yeah. There's just so much of it out there. It is it's despicable. And if you watch, it's growing, and you can always tell often. They have the same derangement syndrome as the left developed and cultivated so beautifully and despicably against Donald Trump. A derangement that is a broad brush. They're not human anymore. They've been dehumanized. I think the one that was real interesting that I've just posted was, let's see, Hamas inflated Gaza death figures, including natural deaths, cancers, anything, to say nothing of the fact that they, make their bombs and they put them under schools and hospitals. Well, Candace Owens has bought into all of this, that Israel, who goes out of its way and even puts its own people in danger, they would do things nobody in the rest of the world would do in order not to hurt innocent civilians. And she's swallowed and bought the propaganda from Hamas, hook, line, and sinker, as a lot of people have. But she has other axes to grind. And they all have to do with Israel being the central problem in the world.
I don't understand that based on everything else that she believes. I don't get it.
I don't either, Ken. I really don't. I don't know if it's that guy that I also liked that she was hanging around with. God, I'm so bad at some of this pop culture now. The one that changed his name and was married to one of the Kardashians, and now she's
Caitlyn
buddies
Jenner?
with him. Now, he married one of the Kardashians, had a kid named like Wednesday.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Gomez Adams, you're talking
No,
about.
you're
Yeah.
talking about,
West. Kanye
Kanye
West,
West.
who changed his name. And then all of a sudden he had
Gomez?
I love it. All of a sudden he started spewing this Jew hatred out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's what's really unfortunate, is when people do hide it and then all of a sudden they explode and start spewing the most insane hatred. I'm not saying Jews in Israel are beyond criticism and that you shouldn't be able to criticize. But when you make broad generalizations, that's the very definition of bigotry and hatred.
I agree, Karen. And I got to be honest with you. I didn't know all this hatred for Jews was there. I apologize for not knowing until October 7th happened. And then I was like, what in the hell are what is the matter with you people?
Yeah.
They're an ally.
They're
You
having
don't do
freaking
that
parades in
to
New York.
allies. All right.
Well, just to point out, it is truly one of the oldest hatreds in the world.
Yeah.
Thousands years old.
Yeah.
And people want to make scapegoats. And one day we'll have to talk about that. It's
Yes.
very interesting. And even even I who've watched it and seen it, I don't obsess about it, have learned a few things that I didn't know in the past.
Okay, final thing.
Okay.
Because guilty white liberals just crack me up. There's a play on Broadway right now called And Juliet. Are you familiar with that play? It's a musical.
I'm not.
It's a musical. It's fine. It's like obviously Romeo and Juliet without the Romeo. And somebody got a spot little cameo in it to become the first Supreme Court justice to be on Broadway, and it was Ketanji Jackson Brown. No, wait. Sorry, no. It wasn't. It was Ketanji Brown Jackson, not Ketanji Jackson Brown. We get so confused on the show. We forget.
When was this? They
over the
they
weekend,
gave her
I
a
think.
Cameo?
Yeah.
They gave her a cameo on Broadway, the real one?
Yeah.
No.
The real Broadway
No.
or the real?
No, the real. They couldn't possibly have done the real.
I'm looking at it. I'm watching her, and as I'm watching her, I'm like, "Is she a midget? Is she a midget?"
No.
You mean Ketanji, who cannot define a woman?
Yes, Ketanji Jackson Brown. Sorry. It's not Ketanji. It's Ketanji Brown Jack. I'm watching her right now in her cameo or whatever you call it, walk through of her in and Juliet.
I am so confused.
I think she's
she
a
does
midget.
this 8 times a week.
No.
On
it's
Broadway?
just the one time.
Or
It's
she
just-
came to the theater and they decided to give her a cameo.
No, because she knows her lines. So no. The answer to that is no.
You mean a little person?
What?
You mean a little person?
No, a midget.
Oh, okay.
What?
Well, I saw a bunch of little people riding a bus. and
Was it
then-
yellow?
Yeah.
Who was driving?
And the midget.
Midget, right. Hey, we'll see you next week.
Hey,
Don't forget to
Vic.
tip your bartenders and your waitresses, okay?
Like in Moonstruck. I'm confused.
So obviously they planned this. They told her lines. They let her come out and do her
Oh.
1 minute on Broadway in
Oh, my.
And Juliet. And all the guilty white liberals giving her a standing ovation.
Well, it's New York.
But she doesn't
Try
know
that
what a
in
woman
Idaho.
Right.
You know.
All right, Karen.
Yeah. Well, and that's identity politics. Trying, it's on life support. Identity politics, but they're trying to keep it alive.
Well,
They're trying.
I hope you're
She's
right.
black and she's female. That means she's wonderful.
Wait a minute. How could she possibly be female? She can't even identify what
Now
a
she
woman
didn't know what
is.
that is.
Yeah, but if you are comfortable with hypocrisy, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Hey,
true.
you want to know the truth? I only brought up that story so we can do our Ketanji Jackson Brown thing. That's the only thing. I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. I don't like her. And that's that. So Thursday, Karen, is our big
Great,
Hanukkah show with you.
Oh, wow. And a week from today. Oh, no.
Are you excited?
Yes.
So
Nervous.
what we'll do
but
next.
excited.
What we'll do. Don't be nervous. We'll
Okay.
on Thursday, we'll run through her assignment and who's going to be with her and all that on Thursday. Is that okay? You good with that, Ken?
Yeah, I won't be here, but
You're not going to be here on Thursday?
no,
You're not going to be here for the big Hanukkah show?
I would love to be, but I have a procedure.
He's a Jew hater.
Oh.
Absolute Jew.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's the answer to everything,
Yeah.
isn't it?
The names I call him, you have no idea off the air. All right, Karen, we love you to death. We'll talk. You and I will
Talk to
talk
you.
on Thursday, not him.
Okay.
Not the
See ya.
shipster. Okay. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Karen.
Bye.
All right. Listen, serious. Stop it. Stop laughing.
Stop it right now.
Coming up next, I watched the Army-Navy game on Saturday. I was so moved about so many things. The game itself, President Trump there, and one particular thing that happened at the game I want to play for you, and it made me emotional. Okay?
Yeah.
It made me emotional. That's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at NewstalkSTL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I have a theory. People talk loud when they want to act smart, right? Correct!
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
What exactly are you saying, Ken? All right, listen.
Correct!
Time off, right? Everybody's got some time off for the holidays. I hope you got a lot of time off. Ken and I have a whole week off next week, starting on Monday. And Karen Kataline, we'll run through the people who are going to be doing the show a little bit later on.
Yes.
Is that okay? But you'll have time for yourself, right? And listen, the kids, you may be empty nesters, you and your wife, or you and your husband, right? So there's plenty of time to have some fun. You understand what I'm saying? And if you go to Dr. John's, they can help you out with that. They have 3 locations in Fenton, Farmington, and Wood River, Illinois. They have a full assortment of male and female enhancement supplements because, guys, we get old and the sink breaks and a lot of other things just don't work anymore. You understand? So they have novelties, lingerie, everything. So if you're looking for something out of the ordinary, Dr. John has you covered. And I really think an important part about me telling you about Dr. John's is you don't feel weird. There's no reason for you to feel weird because it's all natural. It's all part of life. It's all about marriage and the one you love, right? So go in there and talk to their knowledgeable staff and you will feel so comfortable. You forget you're in, looking for stuff, to do.
Yeah.
You got me?
That stuff.
Ken gets me.
I know.
All right. Make an appointment with the doctor, Dr. John's. Tell him News Talk STL sent you at Dr. John's.
Thanks for taking my call.
News, analysis, opinion.
Radio news junkie. Love every bit about it.
News Talk STL.
Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor. Connor Roofing is now a 2-time winner of the National Best of the Best Award for customer satisfaction for roofing, storm damage restoration, siding, gutters, both residential and commercial. Please visit ConnorRoofing.com for an estimate. And remember, you can count on Connor.
Larry Connor's here with a perfect Christmas gift for the conservative in your life. Let's go to southern Italy on a tour of the most beautiful coastline in the world, the Amalfi Coast. Join me for 11 magical days with professionals from Conservative Tours, $54.88. That includes airfare from St. Louis. Call toll-free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Let's go to Italy this spring.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness 101. Wellness 101 is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on News Talk STL. For more information, visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
On the next Larry Connor's USA.
Look, a drone here, a drone there, a drone over there, a drone everywhere. And no one can give us a clear answer.
Larry Connor's USA. Now weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
Whoosh.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I believe that together we can make America great again.
Thank you, President Trump, and you're still my president.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Okay. So, 45 and 47. I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like it's going to come true.
I would not put that past the left to try and pull some crap.
I agree.
To mess that all up by like the last 2 days, say we're going to allow Kamala Harris to be the 47th president for a couple days.
We got a month and 5 days, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
All right. So Saturday was the Army-Navy game. And I did put up a post on X. And I said, oh, no. First of all, Scotty, our favorite Navy chief.
Yeah, the chief.
Every Friday, he puts all of our names in something and says, hey, great week of content on the air.
I love it.
He does it every week.
Yeah.
And what's funny about that is the first time I saw him do that, it was just like, hey, Tim and Chris and, Tony, everything. So I was like, where's my little handle, So I put up a meme of Forrest Gump going, hey, on the boat.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, you too, Vic, sorry. And then he includes me on it because I forced my way into it. But anyway, he is a Navy chief. And I said, thanks, Chief. Go Navy. right?
Right.
Because he's a Navy guy. And you know what? Saying go Army or go Navy is not really complete. If you are a Navy fan, you have to say go Navy, beat Army. And if you're an Army fan, you have to say go Army, beat Navy. You know?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's more than just go Cards. It's more than just let's go
Right.
Blues.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't watch a lot of football anymore. Actually, recently I've been watching a little bit more. I actually watch Saturday Night Live on Saturday.
I watch a lot of college football.
Yeah. And so I was out of the loop that Army and Navy completely changed their uniforms and their helmets and everything. They look completely different than I remember when I used to really watch a lot of football. Remember both helmets were like the same color gold, and you couldn't tell just by looking at the helmets who was who?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's all different now. And I was like, okay, well, that's okay. And then President Trump with J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy.
Tulsi Gabbard was there.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Mike Johnson. Speaker
And
Mike
Daniel
Johnson.
Penny.
And Daniel Penny
was there. And I just want to say Daniel Penny is not comfortable in the spotlight at all.
At all, no.
You can just tell by looking at him. You could tell by that interview that he did with Judge Janine. And just when he's around, he's not used to the spotlight at all, which is commendable, I think. You know?
Yeah.
Nobody wants a news whore, you know?
Right.
Attention whore. So, Donald Trump came onto the field from the end zone, one of the end zones, and he walked through the tunnel and walked out on the field. And Ken, I got to tell you, the place went wild for him. And as he's walking out, they're playing Hold On, I'm Coming by Sam and Dave.
Love it.
So what I sent you over the weekend, I thought it was going to send my tweet, but it didn't. It just sent one that I liked and copied. But I put as a caption to that picture of him coming on the field, the video of him coming on the field, don't worry, he's coming. I said, you know?
Yeah.
So anybody that listens to the show knows that we play that a lot. Okay. So Army Navy game. People in the stands, not all, but a majority of them, cadets and midshipmen in uniform.
Yeah.
With the coats.
Yes.
Right. And the hats. And then the game, Ken, is we're watching people who will give their lives for us if necessary.
Right.
Right. Because when you go to Army or Navy, you have to serve if you graduate.
Right.
You don't just get to go to the pros.
Right.
David Robinson, Hall of Fame, probably future Hall of Fame NBA forward, didn't just get to go from Navy into the NBA. He had to go serve his country first. I think it's for 4 years or whatever it is. And do you know how different that makes them than all of us?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because they know playing, a lot of times, especially these days with college football, they've got the NIL thing going.
Oh, yeah.
And so they don't get a lot of that.
They don't get any of that.
Right. And in most colleges, if you're a big standout, you go to the draft. You automatically you're going to make millions. These guys know playing with the same passion, which I love. I love that. But they know that they're going to be serving afterwards, so they're not going to be doing any of that for 4 years at least. And some of them, they go in for life. They're 20-year men, or women. So they don't get that same opportunity, but they have that same passion. That's what I love.
Yeah. And the game was good. Navy won by a lot. And, there was patriotism just oozing out of the television.
Oh, God. It really.
And I absolutely love that, obviously. After the game, the Navy players went over to the stands where the midshipmen fans were, and they're all congratulating them, patting them on the back, and because they jumped up the wall, sitting on the wall, some of them in the stands, right? And then they sang their college's alma mater, and they all knew every word to the alma mater.
Yeah.
These guys are disciplined in everything they do.
Yeah.
And how about the guys who do push-ups for how many points the team has? When they score a touchdown, they got to do 6.
Right.
And then they do the extra point. They got to do 7 more. You can't just do 1 and say that was 7.
Right.
Every time, whatever how many points Navy or Army has, they have to do that many push-ups. Oh my God, Ken. I'm mad at myself for missing out on all this patriotism for all these years.
Yeah.
All these years. My God. So whenever there's a big event, World Series, Super Bowl, when somebody does the national anthem, I always grade it like I'm some sort of expert, but I know what I want when I hear the national anthem. And you know what I don't want? And the land of the free, you know,
Right.
I don't want that. It's not about you. God almighty, it's about the country. It's about the flag.
Yeah. I love it when an amazing artist, singer, does the national anthem and they keep it plain. They keep it simple.
Can I tell you something? That guy you're thinking of is Harry Connick Jr.
Yes, it is.
Who did it in our park in the World Series.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember what year, but he did it you're exactly right. No, nobody wants to hear that.
No, because and one of the main reasons I think is because if you're a patriotic person and you're there, you want to sing along. And if they start doing that jazz all through it, do it later.
You don't know when to do that. You don't know when to do it.
No.
So the national anthem was sung by the glee clubs of Army and Navy, and they were, Army person, Navy person, Army person, Navy person. It was perfect. Everything's perfect. This is like how the military should be, right?
Yeah.
And then they did the national anthem, and this is the most perfect rendition of the national anthem I have ever heard, and we'd like to play it for you now.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red lamp to singing it proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the whole of free.
You will never hear. You'll never hear a more perfect version ever.
Nope. Loved it. Gives you chills. When I saw Trump up there with all those people, I got chills. I think we're coming back.
I think so too. Not the first time I cried listening to that. If you watch the video, oh my gosh. All the people in uniform saluting, and they had the camera on this one girl. And I'm not saying this for any reason. I'm just giving you facts, okay? She had the most beautiful face. The most beautiful girl.
Yeah.
Enlisted. I think she was Army. Saluting. Donald Trump saluting.
Yeah.
And the people in the box put their hands on their hearts. And then the video ends with this, I think it's a girl, I'm not even sure. But she is overwhelmed herself about how great that national anthem was.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Vic Porcelli Show on The Vic Porcelli Show on NewstalkSTL. Free speech is alive and well in America.
Thanks for taking my call.
Right here.
You know what's going on?
Have a great awakening.
You see through the smoke screen.
It's cool to be woke.
NewstalkSTL.
Until it's not.
News, analysis, opinion.
Report cards are a good way to show how well your kids are doing in class and where they might need improvement. We at the Show Me Institute believe schools should get grades too, so parents can see how their child's school compares to others. That's why we came up with the Missouri School Rankings Project. Click on the website moschoolrankings.org and it's all there. Rankings and letter grades for all the schools in Missouri. The rankings are based on categories such as student performance in English language arts and math, ACT scores, and graduation rates. Then we take the rankings and come up with a grade point average, just like your child has. Each school and district has a grade, and the website is easy to use. And now we've added spending data for every district, so parents, taxpayers, and policymakers can see where the money is going. Don't you want to know how your child's school stacks up? Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Hey, Tony Colombo here with Tim Jones for our friends Rodney and Jen Wallner, the Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway, the #1 home selling team in the St. Louis area. And I can say that from firsthand experience. My wife and I were blown away from the results that we saw from working with Rodney and Jen, from selling our old home faster and for more money than we thought possible to finding our family's perfect new home. They over-delivered every step of the way. And right now, it's still very much a seller's market. So, Tim, for folks that have been thinking about selling their home, it's a perfect time to call the Wallners.
That's right, Tony. And don't forget, they're licensed in both Missouri and Illinois, so no matter where you are in the metro area, you can put St. Louis's #1 home selling team to work for you. The Wallners' experience and work ethic, second to none. And of course, the numbers speak for themselves. The Wallners sell 15 times more homes per year than the typical realtor. Right now, they're working with so many qualified buyers, they'll guarantee to obtain you an offer. If you've been thinking about selling your home, don't wait. Call the Wallners now at 314-810-SOLD. That's 314-810-SOLD for the Wallner home selling team.
Fox News commentary.
The woman who accused 3 Duke lacrosse players of rape back in 2006 admitted she made the whole thing up. I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
Hi, I'm Ron Kraszewski, Chairman and CEO of Stifel. Financial advisors, let's face it, if you're not growing your practice, you're losing market share. Stifel is a growing, entrepreneurial, advisor-centric firm built for successful advisors like you. There's a reason why 148 financial advisors joined Stifel last year. Come join us and find out why Stifel is the firm where success meets success. Visit www.choosestifel.com.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Magnum, the woman who accused 3 Duke lacrosse players of rape back in 2006, effectively ruining their lives, admitted 18 years later that she made the whole thing up. I give her due credit for finally doing the right thing, and I hope she has found God, found herself, and is on a path to truth and righteousness. She is still serving time for an unrelated murder of her boyfriend, so prison has a way of making you think, I suppose. However, even though those 3 players were never convicted and the case was ultimately dropped, their lives were still torn up, flipped upside down, and destroyed over the false allegations alone. It was a media firestorm for them, for the university, and it set off a domino effect we are still cleaning up to this day. So while it's important to listen to all people who speak up about rape or sexual assault, this example highlights an ugly truth. Women are in fact capable of lying too. I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tommy Lahren is Fearless, at Outkick.com.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. You're listening to the star of Lizzie Borden Had an Axe, Sprouts, and Death Comes a Nightfall. Ranked 893,361 on IMDb. This is Vic Porcelli.
All right, whatever. I haven't moved up one spot.
Maybe. I don't know.
850 million. All right, Tom's on the phone. Tom, good morning. Welcome to News Talk STL. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Vic. I wanted to tell you that the national anthem that you played, I'm standing in my kitchen with the radio on. I'm 75 years old next week. And I turned to the radio. It was 1 minute and 15 seconds. After about 20 seconds, I put my hand on my heart looking at the radio, and I started crying just like you did. Thank you for playing that, Vic.
Tom, my pleasure. I did the same thing when I watched it at home, and I had to play it for you guys because it's the most perfect ever. Now, your birthday's next week. Is it on Christmas or near Christmas?
22nd.
All right. Happy birthday in advance from us to you, my friend.
Yeah, happy birthday, Tom.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your patriotism. Thank you so much.
You started.
Thank you.
Take care, brother.
I get it, man.
I know, man. I mean, I think we're going to see a revival in patriotism. I think this country's, we're overdue for it, first of all, because we've experienced since 2008 we've experienced nothing but, oh, no, you're not right. You're wrong. You need to give this. You need to give that. America is not exceptional. They are very unexceptional. Now we're in a situation where we have a president, a leader, and a staff, a team, an administration that's going to say, yeah, we are exceptional, America. We're going to make sure that you're taken care of first.
Barack Obama started that crap.
Yes, he did. And his he's a little tarnished these days because he put everything out there for Kamala Harris, and it didn't quite work the way he wanted it to.
Quite have his fastball anymore, does
Not quite, no.
All right, let's do a chat box break. You good with that?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. Let's start with Facebook. Good morning, Vic, freedom fighting Vic heads. Do you get the feeling that the Republicans are going to pull off the dragging of feet with passing the tax bill? If they do, and then she has a poop emoji, should fly.
Oh yeah.
So we know what she's saying there.
And we totally agree with. I totally agree with that. They need to hold their feet to the fire. Anybody who's against it and who doesn't run with it, they should be primaried in 2 years.
I agree. And if they don't do anything, our taxes will go up.
They will.
If they don't, our taxes will stay, and President Trump will figure out a way to make them go down. Okay. Good morning and happy Monday, gents and fellow Vic heads. Enjoying my PTO days. Have a great weekend.
Right.
Have a great week, everyone. What about that Army-Navy game Saturday? Great game. Go Navy. You bet. Chief, they can find an 89-year-old grandma protesting on January 6th through one grainy photo.
Yeah.
But can't track down a dozen large drones emitting an RF signal.
Yes. And that's the big problem that I have is that I have a drone, Vic, and it's all radio based. Okay.
Wait a minute. You have a drone?
Yeah. And it's all based on radio. I mean, that's how you run the thing. And why can't they interrupt those? Come on. 2024, they can't go up there to New Jersey and emit something that knocks all those things out of the air like that.
Science would say where we're at technologically, we should be able to do that.
Exactly.
So if somebody's up to something, that's what it means.
It means it's our government.
Yeah. Kathleen says, good Monday morning. Have a great week, everybody. Jim says, good morning, Vic. My favorite radio show. Jim Galladay. Never heard of him.
Hey, Jim. Thanks a lot, man.
Can we welcome Jim to the show?
Well,
I'm sure
but I don't traditionally do that for the guys.
Well, it's okay. Hey, we can,
all right.
Everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
Just maybe that's a woman's voice, Jim, okay? GM FFVH in Phoenix until February, but still listening because my phone is also a radio.
Because he's a mensch.
He's a mensch. Thankful I can keep my morning routine with Vic and Ken. Leanne, you're the best. Thank you so much. David says, tears in my eyes. Thank you for the national anthem. And it was so good that they should just play a recording of that at every sporting event or anything that requires the national anthem. Just play that from the Army-Navy game.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was
so
just
good.
Beautiful.
Good Monday morning, freedom fighters. Land of the free. And so it says I should go, lady.
Lady.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair elections.
No peace.
No fair elections.
No peace.
All the votes are counted, Ken.
Yeah, there's still no peace, though.
No.
Got to figure that thing out. One day, one vote. One day, one vote, one ballot.
Love it. Good morning, all you MAGA, ultra-patriotic, deplorable, Garbagian, freedom-fighting, God-fearing, Vic-head weirdos. Whoosh! The Army,
Whoosh.
There you go. The Army-Navy game is always fun to watch all the way to the end. Yeah, love it. CBS shows Trump once at the game for like 4 minutes, and then that was it.
Yeah, well.
Didn't they learn their lesson?
No.
Didn't the mainstream media learn their lesson?
Well, I think they're gonna attach themselves to some type of chill effect.
Yeah.
I think that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna take time.
Yeah. Chinese drones are flying around everywhere. You know what? I don't want to make a determination on where these drones may be from. They may be domestic drones for all we know.
Yeah, we don't know. We really don't. We know that balloon was a Chinese balloon.
Yeah, no kidding.
And that I still go back to the days when if something was off the coast of our country on our border, it would be shot down and then shoot, and then they would ask questions by taking the rubble and then figuring out what it was.
Which we should be able to do with the technology that we have.
Right, exactly.
Figuring out all the rubble.
Exactly.
And also, when Alejandro Mayorkas says, everything is fine, we don't know what the hell's going on.
You must have got manure for your brains.
Run for your lives with manure for your brains. Democrats are the party for the pedophiles. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, whoever suggested Brian Setzer is a pretty smart feller. That's Kenny Williams, everybody. I could never be a Democrat. No. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Hey, Ed, on Monday, this coming Monday, week from today, week from today, Karen will be doing the show. So you call her and you say, hey, how you doing? To her, okay?
Good morning, St. Louis.
I've been called a son of a mensch, at least I think. That's what he said.
You son of a mensch.
You son. He's a mensch.
But he is a mensch.
I've never had
because he's a mensch.
I've never had more appreciation for the Yiddish and the Jewish thing than I met. So I met Karen.
I know.
You know, it's great. I want you all to enjoy your cake. So enjoy. That's what KBJ does in the courts, just memorizing lines. Many military in the stands chanting USA. Loved it. I can't tell you. I cannot tell you how much patriotism was flowing out of my television set on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
No NIL for them. Dedication to the military. Play some sports too if you want. That's it. You go to Army or Navy. Your number one mission is defending this country. Okay, I mean, you can play football if you want.
You can play football too.
So there's no NIL or anything like that.
And they were good. They're good players, man. They are good players.
All right, so this Army-Navy rivalry is going on in our chat box. Roger Staubach, Navy quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner, Super Bowl champion, NFL Hall of Fame, and defended our country. Staubach met with the players before the game and autographed every game ball to be used in that game. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't either.
God, this is great. A few times when the camera focused in on the ball being snapped, you could see his autograph or the 12 he put not too long ago. I remember. Oh,
number 12, probably, right?
Oh, right. His number 12. God, I'm so stupid. You're right. Color commentator Gary Danielson on CBS got pissed because a flag after the Navy running back scored and spiked the ball to the officials. Stay out of the game. What happened with that? You didn't see it. A Navy player scored a touchdown and he spiked the ball. How many times have you seen a player spike the ball in the end zone? Zillion?
Yeah.
Zillion and one?
You can't, not in college.
I don't know.
No, not in college you don't.
You can't spike the ball?
No,
What can you do?
Not much. You got to be very careful with that in college.
Wow, this is how out of touch I am.
No, in college ball, they just don't like it because it's showboating and it's showing up the other team.
Well, they threw a flag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which they normally would on something like that.
Ed says that was a terrible call. Probably a lib-turd ref. Danielson and the rules analyst agreed it was a bad call. Michelle said she was ashamed of the coup. So leave. I don't know what coup she's talking about.
The only coup that we experienced was the Democrat coup.
Against Joe.
Against Joe Biden, because they installed Kamala Harris.
So, Michelle, what are you talking to us for?
But if you go back further, if you go to 2020, there was another coup.
That's right. But she wasn't mad about that one.
No, that coup was a stolen election.
Right.
That was the coup. We were January 6th was a response to a coup by the Democrat Party.
No PTO for me during the holiday season. Have to make sure everyone has a warm house. Josephius said that. Sorry, man.
And thanks for that, for sure.
I don't want to rub it in, but Kenny and I got a whole week.
Got to get
to do nothing. Can I have the calendar?
Yeah.
We can talk about who's going to be doing the show for us. Appreciate you, everybody. And since we're talking about refs, do you remember? I'm not even sure if he's still alive, but maybe we'll find it and play it one day this week. Jerry Markbright was a NFL referee for years back in the day. And my all-time favorite call in the NFL was Jerry Markbright. There was a scramble for the ball. Maybe it was a fumble and everybody's scrambling for the ball. And he said, personal foul, number 53. He was giving him the business under there. I didn't know that was an official NFL.
I'd never heard that
penalty
before.
term.
Giving him
Just giving him the business down there. And I was, oh my God, I love this guy more than anything. I don't know if he's still alive, Jerry Markbright. We got to look that up. Okay, so next week, Ken. Oh, by the way, Ken has this Thursday off. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Karen Kataline. a week from today is going to be doing the show, and I got the sense that she's nervous to do the show. I don't know why.
Because she's such a professional in radio, and she's been doing it for so long. I think what she wants to do, though, she loves this show. She loves being on this show, and she wants to make it.
God, she's the best.
Make it a good thing.
And she's a mensch. No, a man can be a mensch.
I don't know.
She's not a shiksa. We learned that today.
No,
because she is Jewish. Larry Connors. Wow, the great Larry Connors is going to do this show on Christmas Eve, December 24th.
Yeah.
So we better say happy birthday to my wife.
Oh, better remind Larry.
He better.
You might want to mention it to him.
Strocyphia says Big Mike. I don't know who that is. Who's he talking about? Big Mike?
Big Mike.
Okay, moving on. Wednesday is Christmas. Thursday, Senator Bill Eigel is doing the show.
Yes, sir.
Wow. And Nate Lucas, holy cow, buckle up on the 27th, Friday, because Nate, we're just going to let Nate loose on you. You know when you got a dog, an attack dog, you hold him by the collar.
Yeah.
And then you say, get him, boy.
Go.
Sick him. That's what we do with Nate.
Yeah.
We actually tie a chain around his neck, and we hold him. Go get him.
You ask him one question, or you make one statement, and you go.
He's off to the races. Okay. Thanks, Kenny. So that's our schedule for next week.
Do you have big plans for your time off, Vic?
Yes, I do.
You do? Good.
I have a reservation on my couch ready to go. Can we play that one more time, you think, that national anthem?
I would like to.
Is that okay? Yeah. I think if you get it going in the next 10 seconds, we can work it in. Sometime this month. Okay. This is the Army-Navy game national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the banner of the skies o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red lamps bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the whole of the
Army-Navy Glee Club and Ken Williams doing some harmony there. Ken, that was awesome. Whew. Thanks so much for having the record player on at night, okay, to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
You are a cat. You will always be a cat in my book, and I never will. Bongino's next. See you tomorrow.
The Herzog Tomorrow Foundation provides private school tuition scholarships through Missouri's new Most Scholars program to cover the cost of accessible, high-quality schooling.
Hi, this is Myella Esser with the Herzog Tomorrow Foundation. Our private school tuition scholarships wouldn't be possible without the support of generous Missouri taxpayers. If you're a Missouri taxpayer interested in redirecting your tax dollars and sending them to Missouri students in need of a better education, please contact me at herzogmostscholars.org.
Better education for students creates a better tomorrow for all. Learn how you can help provide a better education for Missouri students at herzogmostscholars.org. That's herzogmostscholars.org. Also, sign up for The Lion, an initiative of the Herzog Foundation that carries articles covering a wide range of issues facing American families and culture. herzogfoundation.com. That's herzogfoundation.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. A major announcement from President-elect Donald Trump concerning the U.S. economy.
I'm thrilled to announce that SoftBank will be investing $100 billion in America, creating 100,000 American jobs at a minimum.
The president-elect speaking from Palm Beach, Florida. The Japanese technology group SoftBank makes investments in a variety of companies that it groups together in a series of vision funds. Economists have their eyes set on the Federal Reserve meeting this week.
Americans waiting on lower borrowing costs for mortgages and other loans may be disappointed by this Wednesday's announcement from Federal Reserve policymakers. The Fed is widely expected to reduce the benchmark interest rate, but only by a quarter point to about 4.3%. The last few economic reports indicate that inflation has dropped, but remains stubbornly above the 2% target rate. Economists in Wall Street now predict policymakers will signal fewer rate cuts in 2025 and a more gradual pace than was previously expected. David Wilcox, a former senior Fed official and an economist with the Peterson Institute for International Economics, says we're on the cusp of a transition to them not cutting every meeting. I'm Jennifer King.
Also at townhall.com, on Saturday, a tornado touched down in Scotts Valley, California, causing damage and several injuries. National Weather Service forecaster Dalton Behringer says tornadoes are rare in California, but not unheard of.
We deal with these types of storms that are rotating offshore quite a bit, that may produce water spouts over the ocean, and they move onshore. It's rare, but we see it at least a few times a year.
An ice storm beginning Friday created treacherous driving conditions across Iowa and eastern Nebraska, and more than 33 inches of snow reported near Orchard Park, New York. The Dow was up 4 points, the NASDAQ adding 181. More at townhall.com.
Our nation's problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight, which is why we must prepare now for a financial collapse that will affect the entire economy. The good news is there's an easy way to do that. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe everyone should consider a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group to diversify their IRA or 401k. Gold is a proven bedrock in almost every kind of economy. To learn more, get a free info kit from my trusted friends at Birch Gold by texting the word PREPARE to 989898. Don't wait until decades of government irresponsibility comes crashing down on your retirement. Get your free info kit on gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group now. Text PREPARE to the number 989898. That's PREPARE to 989898.
From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
I'm First Alert meteorologist Kristen Cornett with your forecast. The rain has ended, becoming sunny this afternoon with a high of 62. Breezy as well with wind gusts to 20 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight will drop to 36 degrees, increasing clouds on Tuesday with a high of 53. And then another round of rain moves in Tuesday night. Will drop to an overnight low of 41. Looking ahead to Wednesday, partly cloudy and cooler with a high of 47. That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Kristen Cornett.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD.
Tony Colombo here for the cleaning pros at Zero Res, the team we trust with keeping our home clean and healthy. And the folks at Zero Res know how important it is to you to have a clean, healthy home this holiday season. And that's why they have this great offer for you right now. Book a cleaning with Zero Res and mention the Colombo special and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129. Plus, you can take $75 off an air duct cleaning. Again, just mention the Colombo special when you call 314-474-2020 or when you book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Are you a St. Louis small business owner looking to boost your brand? Blue Ocean Media Group offers affordable video production that packs a punch. From social media content to branded promotional clips, we'll help you stand out in the digital crowd. Professional quality, small business prices. Let's tell your story together. Learn more at blueomg.com. That's blueomg.com. Blue Ocean Media, big impact videos for small business budgets.
Newstalk STL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Bunny Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on the Sabos radio airways for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. You can now hear Doug and Safe Bunny Radio 3 times every week yet on Newstalk STL. But in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeBunnyRadio.com. What else do our listeners need to know, Doug?
Simply put, I focus on helping pre-retirees and retirees build, preserve, and protect retirement assets, and I've been helping my clients solve their insurance and financial needs for the past 33 years. I also strive to educate my clients on how to prepare for retirement, minimize the impact of market volatility on their assets, and deal with the challenges of increased longevity. Call me today at 844-676-SAFE. That's 844-676-7233.
Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
If you have a phone, you have a radio.
Download the Newstalk STL app.
Love the Newstalk STL app.
On my way to work in the morning.
Usually I'm in the car.
I listen on the app in my car every morning going to work.
Download the Newstalk STL app and listen anytime, anywhere. News, analysis, opinion. Newstalk STL.
From the NYPD to the Secret Service to behind the microphone, taking the bite to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Dan Bongino Show. Here he is, Dan Bongino.
Folks, I've got a big show for you lined up today. Pretty cool weekend update. A lot happened, but President Trump's taking some questions right now. And it's pretty interesting. Jim, can we dip into this for a second? I just want to see what he's up to. Let's see what he has to say.
You can report that Ambassador to Japan will be George Glass. Is that your final decision?
Highly respected man. That's right. Highly respected. He's been an ambassador before. Did a fantastic job. We consider Japan very important. He's very highly respected. Okay, couple of
Which other world leaders have you invited to the inauguration? Which other world leaders have you invited to the inauguration?
The world leaders are calling me, and some really
coming?
would like to meet. No, I mean literally, they're calling me, and I'll be seeing some of them. Well, I think it's rude not to. I mean, it's hard to say I'm not going to see you. And I've spoken to way over 100 where they called to congratulate on the not only the election but the size of the election, the extent of the victory, and they were great. I mean, I spoke to over 100 countries. You wouldn't believe how many countries there are. And I'm trying the best I can to get back to everybody, but there are a lot of countries, and every one of them, literally everyone called, and it was very nice. So, yeah, I'd see some if some felt it was an emergency. I've seen, as you know, I've seen President Zelensky. He came to France while I was there for the cathedral opening. They actually had about 70 presidents and prime ministers, and in one case, a king. We saw some great people. I also met with William, and I was very impressed by William. I think William is terrific. I was very impressed by William.
Sheriff in town.
As you know, I met with him too.
This is great.
Are you just
President
Trump, Did you invite Zelensky to the inauguration?
No, but if you'd like to come, I'd like to have him. I mean, I didn't invite him, no.
Are you disappointed Are you disappointed that China's Xi won't be at the inauguration?
I don't know that he won't be at the inauguration. I mean, I haven't really spoken to him about it. I don't know that, actually. I would say that if he'd like to come, I'd love to have him. But there's been nothing much discussed. I have had discussions with him, letters, et cetera, at a very high level. You know, we had a very good relationship until COVID. COVID didn't end the relationship, but it was a bridge too far for me. But if he'd like to come, I'd certainly be. He hasn't, just so you understand, he hasn't said one way or the other. Because a lot of people say he won't come, he will come. People think he will come, he won't come. It's something we barely discussed, just about didn't discuss. But I have had, especially through letters, some very good conversations.
Have you had conversations with Venezuela?
You know, because China and the United States can together solve all of the problems of the world, if you think about it. So it's very important. And, you know, he was a friend of mine. I mean, he was here for a long time, right in that spot, except sitting in a very comfortable chair. He wasn't standing like you are. But
I love the
we
details.
spent hours and hours
That's
talking.
the best part of a Trump story.
And, you know, he's an amazing guy.
Have you spoken to Venezuela?
The press hates when I say that, but he's an amazing person.
Have you spoken to anyone in Venezuela, sir? On the border. On the border. If I could just ask you on the border. Hold on one second, Gary. Real quick.
United Healthcare shooting, the shooting of the CEO. Can you give us your thoughts about that? And what do you make of the reaction around the suspected shooter? Does that tell you anything about how people
I think it's a terrible thing. I think it's really terrible that some people seem to admire him, like him. And I was happy to see that it wasn't specific to this gentleman that was killed. It's just an overall sickness as opposed to a specific sickness. That was a terrible thing. It was cold-blooded, just a cold-blooded, horrible killing. And how people can like this guy is, that's a sickness, actually. That's really very bad, especially the way it was done. It was so bad, right in the back. And very bad, very thing like that. You can't believe that some people, and maybe it's fake news. I don't know. It's hard to believe that that can even be thought of, but it seems that there's a certain appetite for him. I don't get it. Yeah, please.
Could you just comment on?
I want to expand on the defamation lawsuits. Could you see moving that to other people with individual platforms, social media influencers, people that
or newspapers? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I do. I think you have to do it because they're very dishonest. We need a great media. We need a fair media. We need, it's very important. And we need borders. We need walls, but we need borders and we need fair elections. You look at California, millions and millions of ballots were sent out. They're still counting the vote in California with the machines. They're counting the vote. If you had paper ballots, the votes would have been counted 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Now, you need fair elections, you need borders, and you need a fair press. And the press is, no, I see others. I have a few others that I'm doing. I'm going to, as an example, I'm doing this not because I want to. I'm doing this because I feel I have an obligation to. I'm going to be bringing one against
pressers. I'm so glad
the people in Iowa, their newspaper, which had a very, very good pollster who got me right all the time. And then just before the election, she said I was going to lose by 3 or 4 points. And it became the biggest story all over the world because I was going to win Iowa by 20 points. The farmers loved me and I loved the farmers. And it was interesting the way she did it. She brought it down 2 weeks before. She said I was going to only win by 4. That was a big story. But that was good because she brought it down from like 22 points to 4 or whatever the number was. Way up, easy win. We never even thought to go there. I respect them. I love them. And they understand there's no reason to go there because she brought it from way up, walk away, which it was. And it turned out to be in the election too, by the way. It was a win by many, many points. And then she brought it down very smartly to 4 a couple of weeks before. And everyone said, wow, that's amazing. He's only up by 4 points. Then she brought it down to where I was down by 3 or 4, whatever number she used. And that was the Des Moines Register. And it was their parent. And in my opinion, it was fraud and it was election interference. You know, she's gotten me right always. She's a very good pollster. She knows what she was doing. And she then quit before. And we'll probably be filing a major lawsuit against them today or tomorrow. We're filing one on 60 Minutes, you know about that, where they took Kamala's answer, which was a crazy answer, a horrible
They
answer.
added a minute.
And they took the whole answer out and they replaced it with something else she said later on in the interview, which wasn't a great answer, but it wasn't like the first one. The first was grossly incompetent. It was weird. And that was fraud and election interference by their news magazine, a big part of CBS News. So as you know, we're involved in that one. We're involved in one which has been going on for a while and very successfully against Bob Woodward, where he didn't quote me properly from the tapes. And then on top of everything else, he sold the tapes, which he wasn't allowed to do. He could only use them for reporting purposes, not for sale purposes. And he admits that. And I think we'll be successful on that one. And we have one very interestingly on Pulitzer, because reporters at the New York Times, Washington Post got Pulitzer Prizes for their wonderful, accurate, and highly professional reporting on the Russia hoax. Well, it turned out to be a hoax, and they were exactly wrong. People, like many people, John Solomon, Sean Hannity's not for Pulitzer, but Sean Hannity got it right. Many people got it right. Tucker got it right.
We got it right.
Jesse got it right. Laura got it right. Janine got it right. A lot of people got it right. They didn't get anything. They gave it to reporters that got it absolutely wrong. And now everybody admits it was a hoax. And I want them to take back the Pulitzer Prizes and pay big damages. And I think we're doing very well on that one. They have no excuse for it. They gave a Pulitzer Prize to writers that got Russia wrong. And so I think we're doing well. And I feel I have to do this. I shouldn't really be the one to do it. It should have been the Justice Department or somebody else, but I have to do it. It costs a lot of money to do it, but we have to straighten out the press. Our press is very corrupt, almost as corrupt as our elections.
Are you worried about Venezuela? Sir, if you had any discussions with Venezuela?
For January 6th defendants, you had said in the first few minutes of your administration, you want to issue pardons for January 6th defendants. Does that include, will that be a blanket pardon? Does that include
Well, you'll find
everyone?
out, but it's going to go quickly.
And just to follow up on your
any discussion, sir, with in terms of your mass deportation plans, have you had any preliminary discussions with countries like Venezuela, from where the Trinidad Aragua gang is now popping up?
They'll take them back.
They're going to take them back.
They're all taking them back.
Folks, we'll continue to listen. Mike and Jim in the background. This Trump presser going on right now. He's answering a question about Venezuela and deportations back to Venezuela. Obviously, this is an ongoing issue, our open border. I've got a story later in the show about that, about Biden, who in his last 30 plus days is trying to destroy the country by selling off pieces of the border wall we already bought as taxpayers at a huge, enormous discount so that we have to buy it back again. Of course, at an inflated price because everybody knows the government's buying it. This is the kind of garbage stuff Biden's doing in his last days in office. I've got a story coming up later about this, the transition, how this is the oddest transition I have ever seen in my life, because you have a president right now with all the trappings of office, Joe Biden, who can still sign executive orders, veto bills. He's still the commander in chief, yet he has absolutely no political capital at all. The Democrats hate him. They blame him for a loss. The Republicans never liked him to begin with, so it doesn't really matter. I've never seen a transition like this where all the political capital is vested in a de facto president, not the de jure one. President Trump has all of the political capital right now. I'm going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, got a cool weekend update for you. Going to get into the show. The New York Times hit piece on Rumble and Us, of course, came out. It's, copy and paste from the 1,500 other articles that have been written. I've got that, and we'll continue to monitor this press conference. President Trump taking some questions. Hope you didn't mind me taking some of that. It's important stuff. We haven't heard him do a full presser in a long time. Take a break. We'll be right back.
Bongino. Big news. Rob Schmidt just beat CNN in the ratings. Yeah, it's true. Newsmax's #1 host, Rob Schmidt, just had a bigger audience than CNN during any hour of the day. That really is big. Millions of Americans like you are making the switch to Newsmax. They're getting the real facts. No BS and no spin, just the truth. Even President Trump says he's watching Newsmax. You should too. Rob Schmidt and Newsmax are on all major cable systems. YouTube TV just added us. If your system doesn't carry Newsmax, just call them and cancel. Go to getnewsmax.com and we'll help you find a new carrier. 40 million Americans watch Newsmax. Find out why. Go to getnewsmax.com and start watching. Newsmax is real news for real people like you.
Dan Bongino.
The left, for months now,
One by one,
have been begging for a civil war.
every caller gets their say.
We got to stop and not put these officers in situations where they feel like they have to overreact.
And whether you agree
We have to assume some responsibility because I'm a black man.
or disagree,
I think you're politically wrong.
I do not need athletes that tell me.
you're invited to join the conversation.
Thank you for canceling all your games. Now I get it.
1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Hey, Tim Jones here with a reminder. Winter is the perfect time to obtain an expert evaluation of all your trees, shrubs, your biggest assets for safety, health, or maybe even removal. Hanson's Tree Service, locally owned and operated, not only can consult with you on the exact services you need, but during the winter months, you might even save more money. Keep their emergency number handy in case you need it. Emergency removal anytime over the winter months. Hanson's Tree Service, 636-379-1830, hansonstree.com. That's hansonstree.com.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
On the line with us is Jamie Allman. I'm sure you'll be watching the fight tonight.
Yeah, I'm pulling for Tyson the entire way, man. So that's me. Because I'm old like him. I gotta pull for the old guy, man.
Mike Tyson and I are the same age, and Jamie, I think you're a couple of years older than me. So we got to root for the old guys.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps, weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem, and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more.
800-537-3908. 800-537-3908. 800-537-3908. That's 800-537-3908.
Attention, this is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
800-797-0711. 800-797-0711. 800-797-0711. That's 800-797-0711.
With so much happening.
I think it was President Reagan said, we're from the government. We're here to help.
So much to talk about.
Our education secretary flubbing one of Ronald Reagan's iconic lines.
9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
You never want to miss a moment.
There's nothing about this that shows anything good about Hamas.
On air, online, and always on your smart device.
The vast majority of those that were taken captive on that day are still there.
1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. News, analysis, opinion. News Talk STL.
Turn it up to make sure your liberal neighbors finally hear some common sense. The Dan Bongino Show.
That's for Jeremy. It's always Joan Jett Mondays. And He is the official Joan Jett, Dan Bongino Show content recognizer. If we don't get that in, I don't want any HR complaints dealing with it. It's a lot of paperwork, legal fees, can't deal with it. Eric gets involved, turns into a big problem. You know. So President Trump is, Howard Lutnick, his incoming Commerce Secretary, assuming everything goes okay with the confirmation, is taking a couple questions now on China. We'll continue to keep our eyeballs on that. He's commented on quite a few things. He commented on the drones, indicating he's staying away from his New Jersey location until there is some resolution to that. He seems to be a little bit concerned. I don't know what kind of briefings he's getting on that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show because I've been getting a lot of feedback. But the New York Times piece did come out. And as always, I do a weekend update on Monday. If you listen to my podcast, you got most of it. There were some photos involved. But this weekend, Jim and Mike and I all got together. We had my big 50th birthday blowout. It was a blast. We had a good time. Producer Jim, you were there. Turn your mic on, Producer Jim. We had, would you say, that was like a 10 out of 10 night or what?
It was definitely a 10 out of 10 night. You couldn't have had a better night, especially even weather-wise, too.
Oh, my gosh. We scored in the weather. I want to thank my awesome wife, Paula, for putting it all together. Folks, it was, we took a big risk on Wednesday. We were supposed to tent the place because it's Florida, and Florida, any second it can rain for any reason. They call it the Sunshine State, but it's really the could be Sunshine State. Be very careful, right? And we took a big risk, and luckily the weather was amazing. I want to thank a bunch of people for showing up. Vince Colonnese from WMAL, Leo Terrell was a big surprise. Jesse Kelly, who hosts a great radio show himself. Rachel and Sean Duffy. It was really awesome to see everyone there. He had my friend Brian from Maryland, Leah Halpern, the Bitcoin queen, came out. We had such a blast. And we put on a little concert. Jim and I had a lot of fun. A couple people said, wow, Dan, you can really sing. I said, no, I can't. I know you're lying to me now. That's very nice of you to say. But Jim knows what I'm talking about. Jim, my singing on a scale of 1 to 10, if you lie to me, I'm going to have to fire you because Mike's already standing by. I'll go to Mike will tell me straight. What a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm going to go around a 6.
And wow. Whoa. Folks, this is huge. I want to thank you. Okay, the press conference is now concluded, by the way. I want to thank Joe Bastardi also for giving us a great weather forecast. And President Trump put a nice message together for us. So, Jim, play that one. Play cut one. It's pretty cool.
Dan, you're 50 years old. I congratulate you. I didn't think you'd make it that far, but you did. But now you're going to make it to 90 or something. But I just want to say happy birthday. You're a special guy. Happy birthday.
Oh, man, that was pretty cool, man. I only saw that about 2 hours into the party. Rachel Duffy sent that over. Rachel Campos Duffy on my phone. I only caught it late in the night. So thank you to everyone. And then to a country singer, I mean, just an awesome guy, Nate Smith. He wound up giving me his jacket. He had one of these rocker leather jackets on. So if you watch the podcast, you'll see there's a picture at the end of the night. I had some Casa Dragones, my favorite